Hello everyone. Good morning and good evening to all. We'll wait for another couple of minutes, and after that we'll get started, guys. Uh, Thank you everyone for joining. Um, we'll start at like in next 3 minutes. Okay. Uh, Thank you once again, guys, everyone, for joining today's demo session. We will get started. And just to kind of give you a quick background, we will be having the demo discussion on Playwright with JavaScript. So I'll be sharing my screen, and after that we will get started, guys. Okay. So before that, I would like to share some insight, some details about this particular course which we have along with Isha. So I hope everyone might have went through the link, the course content link. If not, we will go through that course content again. Okay. And after that, we will deep dive into module 1 section of this particular course. Okay. So I'm sharing my screen, guys, just to kind of give you a little bit background on the course content. And after that, we will discuss a little bit on the Playwright side and the language which is supported by this particular tool. Okay. So just, I hope everyone can see my screen. So this is the like link. I hope you guys might have went through this link. Okay. So this link contains the detail about the course which we have, okay, which is nothing but like what are the modules which we are talking about, and what is the duration, what is the course fees, and how we are going to go through this particular course. Okay. So just to give you a quick a heads up, we will be having only JS as a PL, guys. JS as a programming language. Okay, JavaScript. We will not talk about, let's say, Java. We will not talk about, I would say, Python and .NET. Okay, so Playwright, guys, please remember at a very broad level, it is having a support of 5 programming language. Okay, the programming language are JS, TypeScript, Java, Python, .NET, which is nothing but C Sharp, guys. But our core focus will be purely on our JavaScript part, guys. We will not talk about other programming language. Please remember that. Okay. So in the course content at the initial, like module 1, we clearly mentioned about the respective, like you can consider JavaScript as a fundamentals for test automation. So we will purely deep dive into the JavaScript fundamentals. Okay. So when I say JavaScript, guys, like core JavaScript knowledge, you can consider, which is like variables, data type, functions, conditional statement, what is array logic. Okay. What are some literals like template literals, how we are handling the asynchronous JavaScript call, what is promises, how we are handling those promises with the try catch logic, what is the use of await keyword, what is the use of async keyword, why we are using await keyword. Okay, so all this core concept which will be with respect to JS part, guys, JavaScript part. Okay, and this JavaScript knowledge or JavaScript basics with respect to Playwright, guys, it will go till at least minimum 7 to 8 sessions. Okay, so we need some basic knowledge on JS. That's a prerequisite, guys. Okay, so that's the reason we will be going with the JavaScript programming language. And please remember that it is not mandatory that you should have the coding background. Okay, it is optional. If you have, well and good. If not, then also it is absolutely fine, guys, because we will be kind of getting this JS language on like from scratch, guys. Please remember that. Okay, once we are done with the JavaScript programming language, guys, after that, our discussions on Playwright will get started, guys. Okay. So like just to kind of give you the course syllabus over here, it is already mentioned that we will first have the detailed discussions on JavaScript part. Okay. And then we will have the discussions on the setup of Playwright and the environment setup, guys. Okay. So from module 3, you can consider like we will have the installation setup. We will have the what is trace viewer, what is how we are running the command over the let's say one of the editor which we will be using in our complete you can say course, which is nothing but VS Code, guys. So all this we will be having like from the module 3. Okay. Now coming to the I know like some of you will be having the confusion, like we will have first JS basics, guys. Okay, please remember I'm making sure that everyone are on same page. So we will clear our JavaScript basics, and this session will be approx 7 to 9 sessions. Okay, will be purely on JS part. After that we will move to Playwright, guys. Okay, plus JS. Okay, which will depend on, usually it takes around minimum, I would say the now the count, I would say it will go up to 20 to 20 5 sessions, guys. Okay, it is something like in between this, and also guys this number will get updated in case if you guys got any doubt, query, questions, anything, guys. So we will obviously this count may get increased, guys. Okay, Now talking about the framework which will be part of our complete course, guys, there will be few frameworks, guys. Mostly I would say in total, I would say 4 frameworks. Okay. So those frameworks will be purely on like current technology, like current which we are having. That is nothing but POM style of writing, Cucumber. Okay. And you can consider like for API, we will have a straightforward framework. So totally, I would say we will have like POM, Cucumber, and for API, we will have one framework, guys. Okay. Other than that, the added advantage will be, guys, I'll have a quick discussion on one of the which is nothing but a tool, which is nothing but K6 Grafana, guys. Okay. The reason I am talking about this, because the same script which you guys will be creating in our Playwright, guys, the same script will require some modification like at the top of the script, and after that you guys can execute using K6 Grafana, which is nothing but a performance testing tool. Okay. So I'll take a pause here, guys. I would request if anybody has anything to add, anything to like just highlight, please feel free to update your thoughts, update your query. Before that, I would like to just make sure like everybody are on same page. So just to kind of give my this like introduction, guys, I do have like around 10 plus years of experience into automations. My name is Vikas. I have been into teaching almost like 7 to 8 years so far. And other than that, I have been working like almost like with all the automation tool set technologies and with respect to different domain. Uh, and yeah, anybody wants to add any query, any doubts, any questions before kind of we get started into like PPT discussion, because I do have one small slide presentations which is with respect to Playwright. Okay. So before we get into that, I would request if you can unmute and speak up your doubts, queries, questions, guys. Yes, you can unmute and speak up, guys. Please feel free to ask your doubts, questions, anything, guys.
Hello.
Go ahead, please.
Hi. Hi. I just want to know, like, after the course, like, every class, are we getting the recordings or not?
Yeah. So all the sessions right now, the demo session as well, like it is kind of getting recorded. Okay. And once the session is completed, I would say the next morning IST, you will get the recording. Okay. So you will get the recording of each and every session. Okay. And there will be a complete playlist, guys. Okay. Like even the title of that particular session will be mentioned with the content which we have spoken about. Okay. So like day one hyphen JavaScript basics, day two hyphen JavaScript basics, something like string topics, or let's say function topics. So likewise, the recording will be available for the respective playlist. Okay. So you will get the recorded session for each and every sessions which we will have in the next, like the next subsequent day, or I believe it will get updated in the same day, guys, because this session is in morning IST. So you will get the same day, guys. Okay. Within 3 4 hours.
Or are we able to get some, like, hands-on during the class, after the class? I mean,
Yeah, so what we have is like once like we have the sessions, let's say, because during our sessions, guys, we are going to use a lot of open source website. Okay. So with respect to that, we are going to have like once I complete any topic, right? The same topic we will have few assignment with respect to the test case script writing activity. Okay. and that script writing activity will be based on the same topic which we had just discussed. Okay, but if you are asking about the, let's say, notes or something, yes, you will get a sufficient amount of notes with respect to JS as well as Playwright as well as manual testing also. Okay, I know like we are not talking about manual testing, but still like at a very like basic levels, everybody should be clear with the manual testing concepts also, with respect to what is test case, what is test scenarios, how we are writing it, what is requirement traceability matrix, white box, black box, all those topics which we have in manual testing section, right? I'll be sharing the content for those topics as well. Would request everyone to please go through that. And obviously, if you've got any doubts, queries, questions with respect to MT, that is manual testing, feel free to ask, guys. Although we are not discussing in detail about what are like what is the like what are the concepts of manual testing, but I would request everyone to please make sure that you can go through those concepts and you can come up with your doubts. So for that as well, I'll share the required material, guys.
Thank you.
Yep. Yeah. Anyone else has any doubts, query, questions, guys? Uh,
Hey, hi Vikas. Am I audible?
yeah, Shubham. Uh, yeah, you are audible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have question. Like during this course, are you giving some examples based out of uh, like real world examples of project like structure, or you can say framework, which we are you going to discuss in the class?
Yeah, so once we are, let's say, done with our JavaScript topics, okay, because I know like the very first, because most of the time, like they are confused, like why we are starting with Playwright unless and until we are not completed JS, right? JavaScript. So my first priority would be, let's say, I'll try to make sure that we are done with the JS programming language. And then once we switch over to Playwright, okay, at that time we will try to take some real-time websites as well as with real-time example. But that will be taken once we have completed all the UI and the API component. Okay. So when I say UI and API component, please understand that like how we will work with radio button, how we will work with drop down, how we will work with static drop down. Once we have discussed all these scenarios using Playwright, right? Once after that, once we jump onto POM style of writing, correct? At that time, we will have the deep dive discussion into the things which you mentioned, like how things happens in real time, how in industry the framework is written, what are the different reusable methods, how are the different utility logic, what are the different dependencies which we are configuring, downloading, which we are making sure that it is part of our package.json. So all this activity, we will have detailed discussions once we have the deep dive into the framework creation, guys. Okay, like in real time you can kind of do a POC at the same time for your project for reference purpose, and showcase that to your QA architect or QA lead or like your product like scrum master or product owner. Okay, so we will take some real time examples only, guys. It will be during your framework creation.
Thanks.
Yeah. Anyone has anything to add, guys? You can ask any questions, guys. It is not that. Please feel free. The more you kind of get clarity at the very beginning, correct? Better will be, let's say, your understanding with respect to course, with respect to what things will be covered during the training part, guys. So I would request everyone to unmute and speak up. It's absolutely fine, guys.
Yeah, hi Vikas, good morning. This is
Yeah, good.
Amresh here,
Yeah,
and
Amrish.
I would like to know about like will this course also include like CI/CD integration? If it is included, like which cloud platform you are going to teach us? Like, is it like AWS or Azure or GCP? Like,
So yeah, with respect to CI/CD integration, guys, we will be focusing on open source initially. Okay.
mhm.
So as you guys are aware, like the first choice will be Jenkins. Okay. Second will be GitHub Actions. Okay. Third will be the one which you mentioned by creating the Azure pipeline. Okay. For this, please remember we need the premium account of AWS actually. Okay. So we will, I can showcase the configurations, what is required for the respective, I would say there will be one file called as .yaml file, guys. Okay. So with respect to that, you will be able to kind of run your pipeline with your real project. Okay. So over here for CI/CD integration, guys, we will be having focused on like Jenkins, GitHub Actions, and Azure, guys. Okay, mostly these are the major one which is kind of getting used right now in the like industry, QA industry. Okay, and obviously for this same we need to have the understanding on Git, GitHub. Basically Git is same as what we are talking about, like GitHub, or if you guys are using Bitbucket, Circle CI, anything, guys. Okay. But yes, at the end, I hope you guys are aware that and internally the commands which is being used, guys, those are almost like those are same basically. Whatever we are using in Git, right? The same command is being used in other tools as well. Okay. So with respect to CI/CD, guys, we will have deep dive discussions on the Git commands, okay, which is required for our daily activity, like what are the different commands which like you as a QA with along with colleague, right? You will trigger in your VS Code, and based on that you will start your automation script. And after that, when you can trigger, what are the cron jobs, how we are running it, what is declarative pipeline, what is freestyle project, how we are writing the GitHub actions. Okay. What are the different workflows which we can configure, right? So all these discussions we will do once we are done with our framework completions. So this will be part, guys, don't worry. Okay. Any query?
So,
Yeah,
yeah, because I have one query. So,
please.
post this course, will there be any job support or mock interviews will be conducted as we may have experience or we may not have a real-time experience, but Playwright would be new for us. So, we,
Yeah,
in case we need to showcase to the employer that we already worked in automation, so in that case, we may need it, right? So, will that be provided or how?
yeah, just at high level, at the like very beginning, I just mentioned that you guys at the like once the course is, let's say, getting started, right, at the same time if you can have a POC for the existing framework where you are working right now, correct, you can start with that activity, so that there will be few like few you can say you will get some hands-on activity for the current you can say current organization, I would say. Okay. And if you're asking, let's say I'm completely stuck on some configuration or some of the scenarios and I will require some support for that. So once the
Yeah.
course is getting completed, next 3 months, I would say I'll be like you can share your whatever screenshot wherever you got stuck, and you can ask your doubts, queries, questions. If required, we'll connect over Google Meet or something and make sure that we are trying to resolve, like we will try to resolve, but it will be only for next 3 to 4 months, like once the course is getting completed. After that,
Mhm. Okay, okay. No, not
not
while
live.
courses.
Yeah, it will be like up to 6 months, I would say. There will be a
Mhm.
support wherein you can just show your doubts, queries, questions, and we'll make sure we'll connect and try to resolve that issues which you are facing in the current setup wherever you are getting stuck.
Okay, because thank you. That makes sense.
Yeah. Um, Anything else, guys? I believe I have, let's say, covered all the pointers which is required for you to make sure that you have the clarity first, and then we will jump on to playwright discussion, guys.
Hi,
Anyone wants to
Vikas.
add? And
Yeah, hi,
go
Vikas.
ahead.
Good morning. This is
Yeah, go ahead.
Mohini. Yeah,
Yeah, Mohit.
I would want to ask you one thing. So there are many, free videos are available in the web, YouTube, right? So why would we prefer this course and
Mhm.
training? Just would like
Yeah.
to.
So the thing is, with respect to those content, I know like there are a lot of content which is obviously available over the internet right now, correct?
Yeah,
The reason is like whatever real, that's what I told, right? You guys needs to start the same thing along with your current project, because you will have the understanding what are the real time you can say obstacle or real time hurdle we will face whenever we are kind of creating the framework from scratch. Okay, because there will be a lot of dependency wherein you will get stuck, and from there how you will come out. Because yeah, I know that you will get the detail over, like the community support for playwright is not that huge as similar to what we have for selenium actually. Okay,
yeah,
so for that, the reason is you need to have the clarity on how Playwright is taking the help of node package manager dependency, how this integration is happening, and through that, how we are kind of execute our respective scenarios which we are looking for. Okay. So like I can give you an example. Let's say I have a scenario where after the test case executions happens, I need to integrate with, let's say, Teams notifications or Slack notification. Okay, that's a normal test case, normal scenarios which happens. But in real time, what is webhook URL? What are the configuration setup we need to do, right? So all this detail, we obviously need to have it in our YAML file. We need to have those in our configuration part, but that details will have a lot of you can say hurdle, like when we will do actually hands-on on that. Okay, so that's the reason real time obviously will help little bit more comparatively, and you will have uh, like slightly higher confident in terms of you can say whether it is related with any of the framework discussion which you can have during your interview discussion. Okay, so you can tell that we got this particular error, we were trying to have the dependency configured via node package manager, and after that, once that particular package got added in our package.json, okay, then you can confirm, or let's say you can execute those scenarios. So that you can say language or that particular answer would come through your real time experience, real time creations of the respective framework for your current project.
yeah. Okay. Thank you, Vikas. And one more question. Actually, I have seen in so many job descriptions, many were asking playwright with TypeScript combination. So why you are preferring playwright with JavaScript?
Just remember,
This.
guys, playwright with TS or playwright with JS. Okay. Um, Please don't get confused. Almost like 90% of the content is same. Okay. So once you are done with the course completions of JavaScript, guys, okay, you can mention that I have the understanding of Playwright with TypeScript as well. It is not like you cannot mention, guys. Okay. The only thing which get updated, guys, is nothing but the dependencies or import statement which we are writing at the very beginning of our scenarios, guys. Okay. Other than that, you will see that at the because you as a QA needs to understand what are the major difference between JavaScript and TypeScript. Okay. Other than that, uh, if your framework or if your let's say organization requirement is, let's say you need to do POC with the TypeScript, even you have done the course with JS, you will be able to create a mock framework using TypeScript also, guys. Okay. So there is no such restriction that you will not know TypeScript. Okay, please remember. Because it is more or less the syntax, the structure, the whatever is required, right? Because JavaScript is not, sorry, TypeScript is basically a superset of JS only, guys. Okay. The only thing is it is compiled to JS, and which we have we will use basically whenever we require the scenario to be covered with the help of TS part. Otherwise, you can consider or you can have the framework with JS or TS. Both are fine, guys. Absolutely. There is no such hurdle with that.
Yeah, okay, thank you. And one more question, Vikas. So whatever you will be taking 7 to 9 sessions for JavaScript, is that sufficient to start Playwright scripting with
It is
type?
sufficient, more than sufficient, I would say. Okay. The reason is I know like you guys are aware that JS is not the language. It is being used by QA guys. Okay. It is not that which QA engineers are using, right? It is being the language which is used by like JS developers, like JavaScript developer, I would say. Okay. Which is uh, it is being used by the front end developer. It is used by the full stack developer and even like web developer, right? But we don't need to worry about the concept which is part of the development environment. Okay, don't consider like that now that amount of JS knowledge we require. No, okay, we require the JS knowledge which is from the Playwright point of view, and how we are kind of creating functions, what are like local, global, all these discussions we will try to have it in our 7 to 9 session, guys.
Yeah, okay, thank you so much.
Okay, perfect. Okay,
So
so
how many weeks
right.
the course will be?
I would like on this thing, right? We already had this around if you notice, okay. So the course length can go up to 35 to 40 sessions, depending upon your queries, doubt, questions, if you have any. Okay.
Okay.
But minimum, I would say it will take around 2 month minimum for sure.
Okay.
Okay. And guys, I would request everyone, I have not went through all the content over here. Okay. Like arrays and object, ES6 plus features for automation. What are promised JS web interactions. So I would request everyone to please go through this, okay, where like all the real-time examples set up for what are the topics which we are going to have. It's already mentioned for the Playwright with JS part as well. Okay, perfect. So just at high level, guys, a quick discussions on Playwright. So I will have it, and after that we will again like if you guys got any queries, questions, feel free to unmute and speak. Okay. So just to get started, guys, I will go through the official website also in some time. Okay. So Playwright is having let's say the open source, actually like it is not having any pricing part, guys. Okay. Right now most of the tools, which is the first requirement, is it should be open source, it should have a good community support, and all the libraries which we required for our automation scenario, correct, it should be available, guys. Okay. And this particular tool is managed and maintained by the Microsoft team, guys. So you can consider like after every let's say 7th day or 8th day, there will be a new release for this particular tool. Okay. It has a good support for the various browser, I would say. Okay. And web browser, mobile web browser as well. Okay. So you can specify the respective browser in your config section where you want your test case to get executed. Okay. Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, Firefox, WebKit. Okay. In both the mode, that is headed mode as well as the headless mode. Okay. So in headless mode, your program or your script will get executed without the like you can say UI interactions of the browser. But in headed mode, the browser will open in real time and all the actions will happen. And those actions will be very pretty quick, guys. Okay, so we will discuss that, guys. After that, it has a good support for this 5 programming language, which I already mentioned. And now the concern is those who has the understanding on JS, JavaScript, they can quickly start with the JS framework. If you are good at Java, guys, there is no such restriction. You can kind of consider Playwright with Java. So whatever syntax we have seen so far for Java, right, it will be part of your framework. The reason why we have this support, guys, because obviously based on the different programming language QA activity, guys. So that's the reason you can start your framework in any of the PL, any of the programming language. So there will be no restriction, guys. Although if you compare this with let's say Cypress, Cypress has the support only for TypeScript and JavaScript, guys. Okay, it has no support for Java, Python, and C Sharp. Okay, that's the reason Playwright has got one like added advantage, guys. With respect to CI/CD run, it is having a good support, and obviously with the operating system, Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. And please remember, guys, here when we have the discussions on the Playwright architecture, guys, it is actually invoking a real-time browser, guys, instead of opening the driver instance or something. Okay, in Selenium, if you remember, those who are having the background on Selenium, what happens is we need to write driver instance, which is nothing but an interface, and after that we write driver.get, and then the communications happens, guys. So basically there are several drivers through which we are trying to communicate with the browser. That's what happens in the HTTP based approach. But when it comes to Playwright, guys, Playwright is having a real-time communications with the browser engine directly. Okay, there is no intermediator in between that is having the communications, guys. Okay, so whatever test case which are kind of getting executed over the browser, guys, you can consider those as a real-time user who are kind of operating or who are kind of executing that particular scenario, guys. Okay, that's an advantage. Now, before moving to this, guys, features of Playwright, I'll go to the official website so that you guys have the clarity on that. Okay, wherein all these are mentioned over the official website also. So let me kind of go to the official website. Just a second. So guys, this is the official website for Playwright, where you will get the complete documentations. What are the various, let's say, features which is part of your Playwright tool. And over here, you can see the drop down, which is talking about the language it is kind of supporting. And over here, guys, you can see that 72K, which is nothing but this is a GitHub repository of Playwright. So when I click on this, it will navigate to the GitHub repository. And this GitHub repository is present on Yarn, 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 guys. Okay, I'll talk about that in some time. It is present on NPM, okay, and it is present on NPM as well. Okay, so I'll talk about that as well. Nothing but these are the several other platforms through which you can configure and download Playwright, guys. Okay. So the added advantage, what I was mentioning is, guys, this is the first advantage. It is nothing but cross-platform, cross-browser, cross-language, and it is having the support, guys. You will be able to do the mobile testing as well for the Chrome and the Safari browser, guys. Okay, so you may have a questions whether we are supporting or whether we are validating mobile APK or IPA file. The answer is no, guys. We are not validating the APK or IPA file. Okay, we are validating whether the application which you are trying to load over the web part of your Windows or something, right? The same thing is being validated over the mobile browser as well. So that activity, that logic, like that operations, we can do with the help of Playwright. Okay. Next is guys, auto wait web first insertion tracing guys. Okay, so auto wait, if you consider right in Playwright guys, you don't need to write mandatory implicit wait, like you don't need to wait for some particular event actually. Okay, by default all the waits are being configured in the config file. You don't need to worry about that. Whatever steps you will write, browser will auto wait for that particular amount of time, okay, for the action to kind of get completed. Okay, and if that particular action is being not considered or not being completed within that duration guys, okay, in that case we will be considering that particular test case under the flaky test case. Okay, so flaky test case is nothing but if you're executing for 5 times, in 5 times, 3 times it is getting pass and 2 times it is getting fail. Okay, so we are not sure at what point it is getting fail. So you need to kind of debug, and obviously guys, the flaky test case count should be minimal. Okay. Next is web first insertions. So all the required insertions you will be able to add guys. Okay. With the help of the Playwright inspector. Okay. You don't need to worry. And for the assertions guys, please remember we have the chai and mocha library which we can integrate, and it is coming default to the Playwright installations and setup. Okay. Next, we have the tracing part, guys. Tracing is nothing but, let's say you need the detailed evidence of the steps which is being executed, right? So for that purpose, what we have is like trace viewer basically in Playwright. So with the help of that, you will get a detailed zip file, guys, if you want to share with someone. So who can try to explore like at what step your test case is getting failed, what are the reason, what are the error which we are getting. So all these details will be available in that zip file which I'm talking about guys. Okay, it is not always you need to have it in zip file. You can view the web view also. In that also you will get the complete traces, video, screenshot with respect to that particular test. Okay, the next is no trade-off, no limit. Okay, so there is no such limit with respect to multi-tab, multi-browser, I would say multi-windows, I would say. Okay, because in Cypress, if you remember, those who are, let's say, having the background, we are not having the support for like multiple windows and multiple tabs guys. Okay, Cypress is recommending that everything needs to be done on single instance. Okay, but Playwright is having the support for you will be able to open multiple tabs. There is no issue. You can open multiple windows as well. Okay, because the browser architecture, the Playwright execution architecture is slightly different compared to other automation tool. Okay, next is guys, here if you notice we have the various events which are captured guys. Okay, with respect to pop-ups, with respect to alerts, whatever we have in real time, you can say web applications, right? We will be able to handle that. iframe related support, shadow DOM related support is beautifully supported with the help of Playwright guys. Okay, there will be no issue when you have the shadow DOM in your Chrome Dev Tool section guys. As I mentioned at the very beginning guys, the execution time is very fast guys. If your Selenium test case is taking let's say 1 minute to execute the complete regression suite, Playwright will take like 6 milliseconds, guys, which is nothing but 1/10 of the time which is taken by Selenium execution, guys. So please remember, guys, Playwright is comparatively faster than Cypress as well. Okay, I'm talking in terms of execution time, guys. Okay. Then we have the support for CodeGen, Playwright Inspector, and Trace Viewer, which we will discuss in details once we have the setup in our VS Code, guys. Okay. So these are the advantage, guys. Anybody has any doubt, any query, any question so far, guys? Anyone wants to add? Okay, perfect. Moving ahead, guys, beautiful comparisons what we have for Selenium, Playwright, and Cypress. Okay, so I won't go through the pointers which are, let's say, common to all. Okay, because you guys can see that over here in let's focus on Playwright first. If you focus on Playwright, guys, here if you see we have the support for cross browser, we have the support for cross platform. But when it comes to, let's say, Selenium, guys, you need to integrate with Selenium Grid. You need to integrate some other applications as well to experience the support for other browsers as well. The support is like single API, guys. Okay, you don't need to worry of creating the driver instance, guys. It has the support for let's say mobile devices. Okay, after that we are having the platform support for Windows, Mac OS, Linux. Okay, and over here the usage is simple because we don't need to worry about the interaction intermediator. And here, guys, we will be able to communicate with the Chrome dev tool also, guys. Okay, and it has the support for all the browser, and it has the built-in auto wait mechanism for element and action. But over here, if you notice, we are having the concept of implicit and explicit wait. Here, if you notice, we have the browser execution, or let's say the test case execution is slower because it is using the WebDriver protocol. Okay, and in this case, guys, we will require some configuration changes with respect to pom.xml and other file changes, guys. Okay, after that, guys, we have the support we have the framework, only one single framework, which is nothing but Playwright test, and all the framework will be built upon this particular framework. That is whether it is page object method of writing, whether it is Cucumber method of writing. Okay, but everything will be built on this Playwright test only, guys. Okay, here if you see flakiness in test, it is minimal because we have the auto wait mechanism. But in case of Selenium, guys, flaky test case are more because we need to explicitly handle with the weights actually. Okay, we have the support for network intercept, you can mock the network request, guys. Okay, and accordingly you can update your response. Okay, and Shadow DOM support is available for interacting with the web element, which are covered under the Shadow DOM tags in the HTML part. Parallel testing is possible. You just need to update your config file, like playwright.config.js file. We will be able to execute the test case in parallel as well. And the use cases, guys, it is basically ideal for all the modern web applications and the cross platform. Okay, cross browser compatibility. Anyone has any doubt, query, questions on this comparison? Playwright, Selenium, and Cypress.
What is a Shadow DOM?
Sorry, come again.
What is Shadow DOM?
Shadow DOM is something you have a web application. Okay, due to some security reasons, what developer will have is they will try to have some of the UI interaction under the Shadow DOM tag actually. Okay, so it's an HTML tag only, like whatever element we have under div tag or we have under h1, right? Those type of tag. So we will have, due to security, this thing we will have inside the Shadow DOM as well. Sometime what happens is whatever element are present under Shadow DOM, right? We are not able to actually locate those elements. Okay, so we need to make sure that with the help of any automation, you are kind of interacting with those Shadow DOM, and those basically are responsible for security purpose actually. Okay, we are not supposed to expose it actually. That's the reason we try to have those inside the Shadow DOM element. And in the console area, you can write the JavaScript executor also to understand what all things has been under the Shadow DOM logic actually.
Thank you very much. And are you sharing your screen? I don't see.
Is it for everyone?
We
I'm
can
not
see.
seeing any slides as such. Oh, you can see? Okay.
Yeah. So what is parallel testing support means?
Parallel testing basically means like you are executing your scenarios at the same time in all BS, all browsers, basically, I would say. Okay.
Okay.
And over here, we don't need to do extensive changes actually. Okay. We just need to update our config.js file, and with that
Mhm.
you will be able to have whatever is your scenario. Okay, let's say you want to do in 2 browsers, 3 browsers, 5 browsers, 10 browsers, right? You need to do at the same time in mobile browser as well. So all this
Mhm.
configuration is up to you. Okay, you need to modify your config file, you need to set up your changes with respect to that, and after that you will be able to do the execution in headed headless both.
Okay.
Perfect. Any more queries, questions on the comparison, guys? What between Cypress, Selenium? Uh, Anything you want to add? Okay, perfect. So, guys, here is the architect which I was talking about. In case if you consider the Selenium, right? In Selenium, what happens is we try to communicate with the drivers, and then that drivers will communicate with the Chromium driver, Gecko driver, okay, internally. So there is a intermediator in between actually. Okay, so over here we have something called as WebSocket. Basically, like you're trying to have communications directly with the Chromium. There is no intermediator basically. Okay, so when you run your code, right, with the help of the WebSocket protocol and like HTTP protocol, okay, you are directly communicating with the respective servers like Chromium, Firefox, and WebKit. So there is no intermediator. So in this, you can see that we will have the WebSocket protocol and we will have the DP part like Chrome DevTool protocol. Okay, so that's the reason you will see that the execution time in case of Playwright is reduced like 10x time, like 1/10. Okay, if your Selenium framework is taking 10 minutes to execute, so Playwright will take 1 minute, guys. The reason is there is no need of having the intermediator. Okay, so it is directly communicating with the real-time browser. That's an added advantage. And over here you can see that we are having WebSocket protocol, which is kind of very important in case of Playwright part. And here Playwright communicates all the requests over single WebSocket protocol connection. Okay, and in case if there is a flakiness, because if you notice here, if it you can see the second point, which is saying that Playwright failure and test flakiness is less. Why? Because the execution of the test is over the single WebSocket connection, guys. Okay, that is the advantage in case of this Playwright execution I'm talking. Okay, and connection will not be terminated unless and until we close this particular browser, by closing the instance, guys. Unless and until you are not closing it, right, the executions will keep on like going on. Okay, and there is a retry mechanism, guys, in Playwright. And for that you don't need to do any configuration changes. Just at high level you just need to update the number for how many instance or for how many times you want to have a retry mechanism. That number is updated in the config file. Once you do that, your test case will auto retry that amount of time till the time it is getting passed, guys. Okay, so we will discuss that as well in the later session, guys. Any doubt, query, questions so far, guys, with respect to the PPT which we have discussed. Anything you want to add, guys, for Playwright architecture, for the comparison, for the advantage which we have spoken about? Okay, so I will be sharing this PPT as well, guys, with you all. Okay, just have a look onto it. And just at high level, guys, before we start with the tomorrow's discussion, I have not spoken about the installation part, right? So just for JS practice or JS part, right? What we will do is we will have few prerequisite, guys. We will do 2 installations. Okay, I'll showcase that tomorrow. By first installation is installation of Node.js. Okay, and we will have detailed discussion on Node.js tomorrow, guys. Okay, why we require Node.js. Second is installations of VS Code. Very straightforward, guys. No need to worry. We will see this installation as well tomorrow. Okay, but yeah, Node.js I need to discuss little bit on little bit in detail, because the complete Playwright tool itself, okay, is actually built like under Node.js framework only. Okay, so we will have the detailed discussions on Node.js, and then we will have the installations of VS Code, and the third part which I will add over here is installations of Playwright. Okay, clear everyone? So we will have detailed discussions on this, guys, in the tomorrow's discussions. So just to kind of quick recap whatever we have seen so far, we have spoken about the course, let's say bifurcation in terms of how this course will go ahead. What are the framework I'll be trying to cover? What are the, let's say, session timing? I hope everyone are clear, and we will have the detailed discussions on some real-time example. CI/CD integrations will be available. Playwright with JS and TS, because if you have covered JS, you will be 100% confident in TS as well. After that, we have spoken about the Playwright details about how you are working with Playwright. What are the added advantage? Okay, what are the different component? What are the different advantage with respect to other tools such as Selenium and Cypress? Okay. And yeah, in the tomorrow's discussion, we will have deep dive into this 3 major topic, and from there we'll go on to the JS basics, guys, JavaScript basics. So before we end the sessions, I would request everyone to please, you can unmute and ask your doubts, thoughts, queries, questions, whatever you have. Okay, anything will work, guys. Please feel free to ask your doubts, guys. Anything you, yeah, go ahead.
Hi Vikas.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Is this course available offline? I mean, pre-purchase of videos, any past batch?
Yes.
If all these 4 frameworks will be supported?
Yes.
Okay. And one more thing, the CI/CD is also included in that previous batch?
Correct. It is almost like in all the batches. Okay. Every batch will have this course CI/CD part, frameworks, whatever we have discussed previous batch as well.
Okay.
Okay. And please remember, guys, I believe you guys have went through that. After completions, right, you will have the course completion certificate as well. Okay. I believe you guys have, like, you might have went through that. If not, I'll like you just have a look onto it. You will get a course completion certificate as well.
So, do we need a Mac for this course, or we can install all these things on Windows?
Anything is fine.
Okay.
Don't switch to Mac. It is not mandatory. you will be, it is good to use Windows as well. No worries on that. Windows is absolutely fine, guys. Any more queries, questions? Anyone, guys?
Hi, because there is another tool named Tosca is in the market, but like why the Playwright is more popular than that? Or that in the like we can like it depends on the company what they're using.
If you compare with Tosca or Prover, like other tools, right? Please understand, Tosca is, I know, like it is not famous, okay, with respect to the and the Tosca is having some pricing part actually, okay. If you go through the Tosca services, right, after that there will be some premium which will be added to the Tosca licensing part, guys, okay. uh, and the support which is provided by Tosca is purely like no code, I would say, right? If you have seen the framework, right, in Tosca you don't require the coding, you just need to use the UI window. Through that you will be able to handle the radio button checkboxes and other stuff. The code will get auto generated, okay. And why we are having Playwright is because the Angular application currently in market, right, currently the project which are kind of getting built, okay, all those project like web project I'm talking about, okay, in the market, all the development is actually happening, it's on the Angular, Node.js, and Tailnet. These are the current technologies which is being used, guys. And this technologies automation is obviously, this Playwright is kind of managed and maintained by Microsoft, right? So this has the very this thing support for the all the applications which are, let's say, built on Angular, Node.js, those type of applications. You will not have any hurdle in automating the web apps which are, let's say, built on top of this technology. Okay, that's the reason Playwright has got, like if you see the graph right now, 2024 and 25, you will see the graph of Playwright. It is kind of in the increasing fashion actually. The Playwright, everyone are kind of interested in the POC part, and after that they are trying to migrate some of the UI script into that. Okay, and later on, once they are comfortable with UI script, they will talk about the API as well. Okay, that's what I can see last 1 year, 1.5 year, people are, let's say, having in the organization.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
So another question is, let's say the application is developed in .NET. Okay.
Mhm.
Can we still use Playwright, right? For
Yeah,
automation purpose?
unless and
It,
until that particular web app, sorry, application is hosted over the this thing, okay. It should not be desktop application, okay. If it
yeah,
is a
it's
desktop
not.
application, we will not be able to automate. Please remember that. Unless and
Mhm.
until web-based application, for sure, whether it is on .NET, whether it is on any of the this thing, we will be able to automate for sure, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah. Perfect. Any more queries, questions before we end the session, guys? Okay, so guys, just a request. You will get the detail about the next step after once we end this session. So just have a look onto it, and I would request you can ask your doubts, queries, questions over the group as well. We have, okay, and from there, like in the tomorrow's discussion, as I mentioned, we will have the detailed discussion on this, and I might kind of start giving you the assignment with respect to the JavaScript part. Obviously not with the Playwright, but first we will have the few assignments on the JS part, and I will share the documentations with respect to, you can say, manual testing notes and other notes as well. So which will be, let's say, you need to go through them notes, guys, on your own. Okay, and if you got any doubt with respect to that, please feel free to ask, guys. Okay, perfect. So I think we are good, unless and until, I hope I have covered all the questions, all the doubts. If you have any, please, you can ask last 1 minute. Otherwise, you can ask on the WhatsApp group also, guys, if you got any doubts. Okay, I can consider it as no. So thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. We'll have this continue our discussion in the tomorrow's session as well, guys. Okay. Thank you so much for joining. We'll meet tomorrow same time, guys. Thank you, everyone.